With the hype around Marvel vs. Capcom Collection, everyone is talking about the possibility of a Marvel vs. Capcom 4, and my Twitter timeline is nothing but roster predictions, so I figured I'd put in my 2 cents. I won't be talking about the guaranteed characters much. There are a ton of obvious picks from both sides that really need no explanation, so let's just get those out of the way right now. Ryu, Chun-Li, Akuma, Morrigan, Dante, Zero, Strider, Frank West, Monster Hunter, Arthur for the Capcom side, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Hulk, Magneto, Doctor Doom, Storm, Deadpool, and Sentinel for the Marvel side. These characters are pretty much guaranteed. It would be extremely weird if one of these characters wasn't there. Sentinel's probably the only character that I would say they have a chance of cutting, but he's so important to the legacy of Marvel vs. Capcom that I don't think they would get rid of him. That being said, let's move on to the list. Cyclops. He's had a meteoric rise in popularity lately. He's the star of X-Men 97 animated show, and I mean, look at this art on the Marvel vs. Capcom. Like, look at this. He's got to be in there. Luke. He's on the cover of Street Fighter 6. He's the next generation for Street Fighter. I can really see his moveset meshing well with the Versus formula. I'm pretty sure he'll be it. Phoenix or Jean Grey. If you have Cyclops, you gotta have Jean, which hasn't ever been true in Marvel vs. Capcom, but come on, let's have a game where they're both together. Like, come on. Judy. She's easily one of the most popular Street Fighter characters and hasn't been in a Versus game somehow. This is an easy win, guaranteed. Miles Morales. He's had 3 movies now. He's insanely popular. He's the next generation of Spider-Man. Such an easy choice. I could really see him meshing well with the Versus formula. This is guaranteed to me. Leon S. Kennedy. Since Marvel 3, he's been in 2 remakes. He has an RE engine model, which they will probably be using to make this game. And honestly, it's weird he hasn't been in a Versus game at some point. He'd make a really good rep for Resident Evil. This is an easy choice. It's Captain Marvel. She was a good pick for MVCI. She's pretty popular. She's been in some movies. Just seems like a really easy choice. Enough said. Ada Wong. Another Resident Evil rep, I think right along with Leon. She's been in 2 remakes. She has an RE engine model. She's insanely popular. And if you have Leon, I think you gotta have Ada. Venom. Super easy pick. He has 3 solo movies. He's insanely popular. Already has a moveset. Just do it. Lady Dimitrescu? The monster from Resident Evil 8. That one. That lady. I think this is a super easy choice. This character is insanely popular for obvious reasons and would be a good rep for the first-person Resident Evils with Ethan, but can't put Ethan in the game because we don't know what his face looks like, so I think this is a good way of getting around that. Yeah. Black Panther. I really love this character's moveset in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. He's a pretty popular Marvel character. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be in here. Krauser, the humanoid villain of Resident Evil 4. I think he could have a really cool moveset with different forms. He has an RE engine model. He has a rivalry with Leon. I think he'd be cool. Doctor Strange. He's the GOAT. He's been in a bunch of movies. It'd be weird not to have him in here. I love Doctor Strange. I love all of his stupid little spells that he says, like, I am a daggers of the dark. I love that stuff. Put him in. Virgil. He's too ingrained into Marvel vs. Capcom's history to not be included in this game. He's been in another Marvel game. Both him and Dante have RE engine models at this point. This is a no-brainer. I don't see any reason why Virgil wouldn't be in it. I'm sorry. Hopefully there's no X Factor. Alright, this is the first character that I'm cooking with, alright? Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider. He's the new Ghost Rider, so it won't be Johnny Cage like in the last 2 Marvel games, but the potential moveset with his Hell car thing, I can see him talking a lot of smack. He's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It has some precedence. He would be awesome. Okay, just trust me. I want it. I feel like Phoenix Wright has only gotten more popular since Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Capcom keeps making collections of all of his games. He has a pretty devoted fan base. I don't see why Capcom would object. Alright, let's move on to the more fun picks, the less likely picks, the picks that I want. Nero. I feel like Nero is probably more in the obvious choice category, but honestly, I don't know. He has an RE engine model. He was the star of DMC5. He looks really cool. He talks smack. I feel like the majority of my list is like newer generations of characters on both sides, so I feel like he'd fit that theme pretty well. I feel like this is also a no-brainer. Daredevil. I want Daredevil so bad. He's been in a bunch of Marvel shows. He's a pretty old and important Marvel character. I think his moveset would be awesome. Please Just put him in. I want him now, please. Nemesis. The last Resident Evil rep I have on this list, I mostly think he'll be here because he has an RE Engine model and it looks awesome. He's been in 2 Marvel games already. I don't think there's a chance he's not here. I feel like he's the definitive Resident Evil monster at this point. Scarlet Witch. She's awesome in the comics and has been in a bunch of movies. She's had her own show. I think her moveset would be awesome. I really don't see any reason why she wouldn't be here. Felicia. Another pick that I think is a no-brainer. Popular Darkstalkers character. Been in Marvel vs. Capcom games before. Yeah, Rocket Raccoon. Rocket's been in a bunch of movies since Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He was the star of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. There's something I would want them to do a little differently. I would want Groot to be more incorporated in his moveset. They kind of did this with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite a little bit, but I want to see more. Like, I want to see maybe he just rides on the back of Groot the whole time or something. I feel like that has a lot of potential. Hagar, the Final Fight rep. I don't know if I can really, like, defend this one, other than he was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Metro City is all over Street Fighter 6, but I don't know. I just feel like it'd be weird if Hagar wasn't there. So, Rogue. Rogue is awesome. She was in X-Men 97. She was in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Just do it. Poison, another Final Fight rep. Probably more known for her Street Fighter these days, but I'd love to see her moveset incorporated into this game. I feel like this is a very easy pick. Okay, Nightcrawler. Hang on. Keeping with the X-Men, I think Nightcrawler is born to have a fighting game moveset. So many cool things you could do with teleportation. He's talk smack, especially in the comics, and he's awesome. He'd be so sick. I'm telling you. Hire me. Beautiful Joe. He's been in so many Versus games. He's a super recognizable Capcom mascot. Honestly, if it didn't have him, I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy the game. Yeah. Sabretooth. Okay, Sabretooth is awesome, and this is probably a hot take, but I love what they did with him in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. This is probably a personal pick, but I think Sabretooth would be sick, and they should just bring him back with Birdie and the gun and all that. I think he's awesome. I love his throw animation too. Look at that. Dimitri, final Darkstalkers rep, hasn't been in a Versus game to my knowledge. I think he'd be cool, if not a bit of a generic character, but honestly the real reason I want him in is so he can interact with the next Marvel character I have on this list. Blade. Blade is awesome. He hunts vampires. His moveset would be dope. Maybe you could have like a blood meter like Nagoriyuki from Guilty Gear or something. I think he's a no-brainer. He's awesome. He hunts vampire. Tronbon. She's been in like most of the Marvel vs. Capcom games. This is another pick that I feel like if she wasn't here, it would be weird. But I don't know. She hasn't really done anything in years, so who knows? The Punisher. Another pick that I think would be awesome. He's had his own show. His old arcade game is in the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, so maybe there's some precedent. I feel like this is like just everyone wants it. It'd be dope. No one would have a problem with this, right? Amaterasu, probably the last Capcom character that I feel like is shoo-in. Okami is amazing. She was in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. This is an easy one. Capcom, just put her back in, please. I know you haven't been doing anything with Okami, but just keep her in. Black Knight. This is an oddball pick, but it has some precedence. The Eternals had a movie, and Kit Harington might be playing Black Knight in the future. I don't know. It just seems like a pick that Capcom would make. You know, sort of an out there, not super well known Marvel hero that they could do a bunch of moveset fun stuff. I just want Jon Snow in Marvel vs. Capcom. Batsu, the Rival Schools rep. I think he's awesome. This is a personal pick because I played Tatsunoko vs. Capcom as a kid. I just think he's cool. He has a moveset. Just put him in. Magic. Okay, listen up. This is the reason I made this video. Magic is born to be a fighting game character, okay? She's got this thing called the Soul Sword that can open up portals to this place called Limbo, and she can teleport people back and forth. I just think the possibilities with this are endless, dude. Sending an opponent through a portal and then coming back from the other side of the screen or like above the screen or below the screen, dude. This character would be sick. Please, for the love of God, Asura, criminally underrated game and character. He deserves to be here, honestly. He fits that unknown character vibe that I think makes The Versus game's awesome. He's a mod in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and it's awesome. I just think he'd fit in so well. This is a no-brainer for me. Okay, all right. Cosmo the Space Dog. Okay, out of left field, yes, but imagine interacting with Amaterasu, like he has a crush on her or something. I don't know. I just want a Russian smack-talking dog in my Versus game, please. Just Samanosuke. Onimusha hasn't had a lot happening, but I think he's just sort of that same out there pick that Capcom always gravitates towards, and I don't know, Onimusha recently had an HD re-release, so there might be some precedent for it. I don't know, but I just think he's really cool, and he'd probably clash with the Black Knight pretty well. I think it'd be dope. Anyway, what'd you think of my list? Here's some honorable mentions. Rob Stark from Eternals, Orange Man from Okami, Pregnant Spider-Man from Across the Spider-Verse,